Welcome to Jimosi podcast. So in today's video, we're just going to do our weekly update. And what happened this week is that Bol Mel, the vice president or the new vice president for the economic cluster, has actually promised the payment of the salaries on the 24th of every month. And he has also pledged that even some of the arrears that had already accrued are going to be cleared out.
That's interesting.
He has set up a plan, or he has put some plan in place to have that one cleared. And
That's 14 months worth of salary.
Yes, and he's giving that promise. So we're going to look at it this way. Does it necessarily mean that Waniga was not doing any work?
That's his predecessor.
Yes, because he just replaced Waniga in the same position.
Yeah.
And Waniga was holding that. We have never had any statement from him regarding the arrears payment. Every time people, for the civil servants, every time that people talk about salaries payment or delay, it's always the Ministry of Finance.
True.
Or the central governor of the central bank that always have statement.
Yeah.
But this time around, it's Bol Mel that came out, and I think it was actually with the Minister of Finance, or is it? I don't know what they call that guy, but it was with them.
Okay.
So does this one mean that Bol Mel is working harder compared to Waniga?
Dr. James Waniga.
Or is it that Waniga was literally doing nothing and was just sitting on the job? What do you think?
Mi naona tu Bol Mel amekuja na moto ya newcomer.
To prove a point.
Yes, and he's kind of, personally I don't feel like they're going to pay all those salaries because as we all know, they have not been paying salaries for the civil servants for the last 14 months. So hiyo pesa yote itatoka wapi? The country is broke.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's one of the biggest questions everyone is asking on the social media. Where are they going to get the money to pay those salaries?
Where was the money?
Yes.
But the thing is, let's look at it this way. Is it that Bol Mel is jumping the gun to go ahead and say they're going to do this when it is not the responsibility of a vice president to do that? Because we go back some years back a little bit and look at when those positions were held by other people. When South Sudan got independence in 2011, the position was held by Riek Machar. Riek Machar...
Which position?
The position of vice president. We're talking about vice president.
Okay.
Like I mentioned to you earlier that is Bol Mel jumping the gun, doing some work that does not belong to him.
Okay.
So that's what we are looking at. And that's why we're going back to the 2011 when Riek Machar was the vice president. It didn't talk about any salaries. But those days, salaries used to delay a little bit, but they used to get paid.
Paid like that.
Yeah, sometime they will come. But it never came out and issue a statement regarding the salaries payment. Okay. And then after, in 2013, when he left the government and went to the bush to fight, it was replaced by Waniga. Waniga held that position until when Riek Machar came back again.
Like in 2018?
No, in 2016.
2016?
Yeah. So when that one happened, Waniga never talked about
any
salaries. Either they were being delayed or not. He never mentioned anything or never talked about it. And then in 2016, when Riek Machar came back as the first vice president, he was the second vice president. Two of them held the same position. Okay. They never talked about salaries. And then what happened again is that war broke out again at J1, and then Riek left, went to the bush again, and it was replaced with Taban Dengai. And then there was that fight again. There was nobody talking of any vice president being responsible for the arrears payment. And then now when they all came back around 2018, they were appointed as 5 of them, and then they were given now different clusters.
Okay, I think that was around effective 2018, 2020-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it clearly means that there's no point in South Sudan history where the vice president has been responsible for the payment of salaries. And even in other countries that we look at, take for example Kenya, the work of the vice president is not to, it's not about cabinet whatever or the payment of, it's the responsibility of somebody that's supposed to be in that position.
Like the treasury board.
The treasury, the public work, whatever.
Public service commission.
Yeah, they're the one that handle that.
Yeah.
But in this country, Bol Mel has make it look like it was the responsibility of the vice president. Or is it that, you will talk, or is it that Bol Mel, because he's a J-Chamer, and some of these ministries that handle money and whatever, like the young guy that was standing with him was also a J-Chamer. Is it that like that on the same level, compared to when Waniga was there? Waniga was not on the same level with these guys, so they were not able to work out any good plan. But this guy came, he wanted to prove a point, so he's able to talk with his J-Chamer too, who are responsible for that, and they're able to come out with a plan to come and clear this. Do you think that Bol Mel is jumping the gun but doing by doing a duty that do not belong to him? What do you think?
I don't think so, because if you look at some of the ministries under his docket, that is the economic cluster, we have one of the main ministries, which is the Ministry of Finance. And most of these, like anything that involves money and also the payment of employees and staff, the finances will have to be released by the Ministry of Finance. So this could have been like a joint statement after having met with the Ministry of Finance to look at the financial situation of the government and what does the budget look like. And then they decide, okay, these people have not been paid for this long, so we need to put out a statement out there to ensure that the people are, or to assure people that their salaries are almost getting paid. So I think that's the case. It's not like he's jumping the gun, but like whether they will pay the salaries or not, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah. To me, like, it's still jumping the gun, right? Because it's not his responsibility. As much as you are saying he has gone and talked with them for the people responsible. Then, if to that probably, then let's say what you are trying to imply is that Waniga was not doing his work. It was not calling these people and say, hey, you people are under me. What are you guys doing? So it clearly shows that Waniga was sleeping on the job, as per the way you put it. But I'm also going to look at it in a different angle, because all of a sudden, this guy mentioned that on the 24th of every month. And then they say for this month, that plan already in process to do that. When is day 24? Day 24 is a Monday. Yeah, it's on this Monday.
Yeah, today is day 22.
Yeah, so Monday is 24. So if, let's say, we give you an excuse of saying it was too close, then we talk of March 24. Is that near? And it can easily be proved wrong. And this guy gave a press briefing that people are going to see. And in a month's time, if they give him a benefit of doubt on Monday, then in March 24, they will come out and say, hey, look at your statement, man. This is what you put out there. We are now on March 24th and nothing has been paid out. So it's just going to clearly show that this guy was trying to build some public
relevance.
Some PR, when in real sense, like, there was nothing. Because the thing is, does it mean the money was sitting somewhere? It's just that the right people were not doing the right job? Or is it that, because the other theory that I was thinking was, is because Bol Mel is a business person. He has money. So in his bank account, there are high chances he has talked with the government. And they have set up a deal saying, I will remove my own money, pay the public servants. But when the oil revenues come in, you government pay me back at a percentage. And you know the government things here in this country are not open to the public for us to scrutinize it and say this is not the way that government is supposed to do things.
That is in South Sudan, not in this country.
So he might have done the backdoor deals with the government, with the president.
To give them a loan.
To give the government a loan.
Okay.
To pay the salaries for Monday and for next month. But when the government money come in, like right now they mentioned that they're going to implement non-oil revenues.
Yeah.
Then
like
they will say, you will just say, I paid the government people, right? So bring my money back. And then he's given his money as a percentage. He keep his money. And then if...
With some interest.
With some interest, yeah. He's growing his money, right?
Yeah.
And if next month again, if the government is not able to meet, he's able to loan. Because what I've seen...
But how much money does he have? That's my question.
How much is the salaries? If you have like close to...
Employees, let's say soldiers, they earn less than $10.
Yeah, so he has like up to, let's say right now, he has $1 billion USD. He can easily pay everybody, right? Okay. And then the government of South Sudan also get billions in oil revenue.
Yeah. And
oil production has also resumed.
No, but unajua kitu they said last time before the previous Minister of Finance, huyo Achuei, was fired. He said that the oil had been pre-sold up to 2027. We are still in 2025. Now, alisema around 2024, there 2023. So if they pre-sold oil, then like what benefit is Bol Mel going to get if he was to loan the government some money to pay the civil servants? And when is he going to get his payment back?
You know what? The way that you look at this thing, they are not literally the way that we are Gaga Chill put it.
Okay.
The oil of South Sudan does not have a known number of barrels that you can say our oil underground is this number of barrels. And these are the number of barrels that we have sold. What has happened is that there's a percentage, the capacity that the country is able to build, they might have loaned it.
Okay.
But if they increase the production, then there's extra to sell for a profit.
Okay.
So it's not like South Sudan oil is sitting in a warehouse where it can be counted and say, we have this number and we have already sold everything. It's underground.
Okay.
It all depends on the production. If you can output a lot of it, then you can sell excess. So they might look at that avenue.
Okay, but then kuna ile nini, the oil production had stalled for some time due to the Sudan war because it has to pass through Port Sudan, which is another thing until recently around it.
Yeah, there's another issue, right? Because some of things in South Sudan are not wide open.
Yeah.
And if you are to look at these people, some of the statements they put out there are political statements.
Okay.
Because for the oil to be pre-sold to the extent that there's nothing that's supposed to come to the country, then it has to be, what has it been sold for? The first thing that people heard about was the fact that what's going to happen is that instead of selling the oil, the crude oil, we are given money and then we come and decide for ourselves. It was said that Salva Kiir went to China and made an agreement that you will come build my roads and then instead of me selling my oil and having money to give you, you'll just take part of. So it was done in terms of crude oil to prevent stealing of the money.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of deal that were not open. They were also not open to the public. We don't know how many barrels per day is it produced. What was the deal that was agreed between South Sudan and China?
Chinese government.
Yes, and then also when you come to South Sudan, South Sudan is a country that does not have a clear. Is a country that does not have a clear constitution that states when it comes to borrowing of the loan for the public or for the government, this is the way that we are supposed to do it. It's proposed by the cabinet, it goes to the parliament, it's approved, and then the money is then people go get money from where they're supposed to get it, either from the World Bank, IMF, and then they bring it to the government. It's for the development. That thing is not there.
Disclosure too.
Yeah, it's not in government constitution. Okay. So what people have been doing is individuals that are business people that think they know other people that have money, They just come to the president back door and say, I can talk to Al Mahmoud something. Those are, how do you call them?
Saudi Arabia.
The Saudi Arabia big boys. That I can talk to them and they can give us this money to come and pay the public servants. And when we sell our oil revenue, we'll get something to come and pay it back. You see? And then the person, the intermediate guy, the broker in between is getting his percentage too.
Yeah.
And we, the public, we are not allowed to question it because some of these deals we come and hear of them later on.
You don't even get to know them, like, unless there's a scandal. That's when you see some papers leaking online with big names.
Yeah, but
So-
it's supposed to be the work of opposition. But what's happening right now in South Sudan is that the opposition themselves are there to eat. Everybody want to eat, so nobody's there to question anything. So, but yeah, to come back to our story, Bol Mel might be working to prove a point that he has come there to work, and he might have had a lot of critics or a lot of criticism that people have been saying, oh, will not do anything. It's just going to is going to steal like he has been doing, or he is going to do some shady work like he has been doing. But he's coming here to prove a point that I can actually work better than the people that were here before me, his predecessors. So he might be there to prove a point, but because he has given a timeline, there's another red flag there, because it can be easily judged. It's something that has been recorded in a month or two. People like, man, you lied to us, and internet never forget, and it will have to come up with another excuses. So if I were him,
Salaries weren't paid.
if I were Bol Mel, I'll not give any timeline. I'll just say we're working on it, and then let's say even when I'm sure that we'll pay them on the 24th, just say this thing will be paid. Don't worry. Within a month, or not even say within a month, within a short time. Within a short time, you people will hear something, and then boom, you pay them even before the 24th or 25th. You see, and if people come back to you and say you say within a short time is relative. It's relative to what? So it might be short time can be 2 years, short time can be 3 years in comparison to 10 years. You see, so he can always defend himself. So if I were him, I would have not said 24th. Giving a definitive date.
He knows what he's doing. And also talking about Waniga not doing or not performing, I've come across different people, even from his own community, supporting his replacement. Why? Because he's one person who's ever silent. One of the ile example yenye that guy alipeana alisema Waniga does not talk when people are being oppressed, when the land grabbing story is making headlines, and also when there is cases of insecurity throughout the country. It doesn't matter where the insecurity is happening, either at his backyard or like at the neighborhood. He's always quiet. I think the only time when he stepped in to help with the peace building initiatives was when there was that war between the Dinkabor and the Murle around Jonglei State, cases regarding the cattle rusting and stuff. I think that's when he went and knelt down.
I think he was appointed to handle that, not that he put himself out there to go do that. Yes, he
was part of the committee that was in charge of that peace initiative and stuff. So that's the only thing they said he did. But these other things, he never puts out a statement or anything. He's just there to do his work and go home.
Well, yeah, he's not a vocal person. So if he's not talking, because, it's the old ruling or the old SPLM leadership things is when silent people used to be rewarded. But in this modern society, people want people that can articulate issues, talk about them. This issue of keeping quiet, nobody's going to judge what you have in your brain that might be a good idea if you don't speak it out.
Yes.
So, but we might be talking, people might be crucifying Waniga because he was the one that was replaced.
Okay.
Because if other people were replaced, people will have opinion about them too, that they were not actually even working. And and it is true. It's just that people have not brought in the to highlight, or people have not highlighted Abdulbagi, how do they call him?
Nani Hussein Abdelbagi, the
Abdelbagi.
other vice president.
That was also replaced.
Yeah.
His party has also gone and removed him. That he has been having a lot of misconduct.
Oh, okay.
So
I
has
think he
been-
was put as the Minister for Agriculture.
Yes.
Something.
So his own
They
party.
swapped the position.
Yeah,
The
this-
person who replaced him is the one he replaced.
Yes. But then his own party has gone there, remove him, and say they have their own party wrangle that are going on. So it seems like everybody that has been replaced, people have opinion about them.
Yeah.
And if Riek Machar was to be replaced today, he was not even doing anything. He was
The
just,
IO would
he was
jump
just,
up and down.
yes, he was just chilling in Juba because it's not like Riek is doing anything. Nyandeng is not doing anything. Taban is not doing anything.
They're just there for their positions.
Yeah,
and to
they're
secure
there for their
power.
security, for their bodyguards, for their money, for their salaries. But it's not like they're actually doing anything that you can say Taban, Nyandeng, or Riek Machar has done this. So people are just crucifying Waniga because he has been replaced with Bol Mel, somebody that has some controversial thing that people can talk about. But
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
becoming the weak link.
anyway, so that's it for Bol Mel. Let's just give it is the Monday 24th
Okay.
if we will actually fulfill the thing that he jumped into, and if it is not possible on the February 24th, then we give him a benefit of doubt and we give him until March 24
Okay.
to prove his point. And if we can do that,
And
then
we
it-
have the screenshots.
yeah, then it means this guy is actually there to work. If he can pay these people, not out of his pocket, but is able to consolidate the government funds in here and there that were being lost to some corruption deals, then yeah, he might be the right guy to lead the country. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's your opinion.
yes, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
And
Okay. So
yeah, so also this week, one of the stories that happened is that there was this lady, Achuei Deng Ajiing. She wrote an article where she was actually concerned about the trend of what's happening among the young ladies nowadays. And she was concerned that,
young South Sudanese women and girls.
yeah, those ones. And she was concerned that if the same trend continue, then there's going to be lack of leadership. Like the leadership, there's going to be lack of female
women
leadership,
leaders.
women or female leadership in future, like what we have seen through Mama Nunu Kumber, who is the Speaker of the National Assembly, and Achuei Deng Ajiing, who is also Minister of Education, and Nyandeng Garang Mabir, who is also wife to the late Garang Mabir, and then she also the vice president at the moment. So she literally what she was saying is that if the current trend continue, then we'll not have such kind of leaders in the future. And she was trying to advise our young ladies to stop that and stop insulting each other on social media if they want to have a better future as a female fraternity. So I'm going to look at it in a different perspective. Yes, she might. I'm not going to criticize her. She made some good point there. She has seen a trend that's not a good trend and is a bad trajectory for the country in terms of female. But these are the few people that she has seen. Most of these people that are insulting each other on social media that she's seeing, high chances these are not university graduates. These are not master holders. And as for me, I know a lot of ladies out here that are having their degrees, they're having their masters, and others are doing PhD, and they're pursuing also their careers, and they're not on social media insulting each other. So there's no gap that is being left. It's just that the timing is not there. When the right time comes, these ladies will show up and they will grab those opportunities. So to me, it's not a concern that I would say South Sudan is heading the wrong direction. Because even when we look at this America, that is a civilized society, where in the last 3 elections, 2 of contestants were female that wanted to be president. We also have a lot of females that are online doing pornography through Instagram. And America is not crying that we are losing female. In the future, we will not have Kamala Harris, or will not have like
Hillary
Clinton. That will not have them. There's in every society there's that small group that's not going to align with the society and it's acceptable, and there's this other group that will do the right thing. Even if we go to the family of Nyandeng Mabur herself, she has some of her daughters that are master's holders or they have degrees. So this they can easily replace her if we go to look at it that way. The same thing to Nunu Kumba if she has ladies.
Yeah, she has a lawyer actually.
Yeah, so
she's a lawyer. All of her children have degrees and they're well educated.
So you see, there are a lot of females that are educated in South Sudan. There's no gap. And the other thing that we should look at in society, we should not be all morally upright. We should give room for marginal error of some individual that will do whatever that they need to do to put the food on their table. So to me, like, there's no concern. It's just that we're coming from a society where we used not to see some of things that are happening right now. But we have moved past that. We are a country. Social media has come in. A lot of modernity has come in. We did not have phone in the past.
People are in different countries and different parts of the world, so you are learning different cultures along the way.
Yeah. So what do you think? Do you think there's a vacuum or there's a gap that is going to be left by the few that are abusing each other on social media?
Hata mtu aniite player hater, but like personally, I'm not very happy with what she said. Some of the points are very valid, that this culture of abusing each other on the social media and stuff is not a good thing. Just live your life and let other people live their lives. I agree with that. But saying that there will not be female leaders if we continue with the same trend, just like you said, is not accurate. And then it's like you're trying to box everyone under the same box, which is not true. We have so many people who are doing different things, and you might not want to be a politician or take part in those leadership positions, but you are thriving in your other career. So just because a few people are abusing each other on the social media doesn't mean now the country is doomed or anything like that. The same thing applies to men. There are men on the social media who are constantly abusing one another.
Yeah.
Does that mean we are running out of male leadership?
The like of Kina Salva Kiir that are not going to be there in the future, or the like of Rex.
So like this is the issue with social media. Some people would come up pretending to be, let's say, motivational speakers or anything, and then you start overgeneralizing, which is not good. You need to acknowledge, okay, there's this good thing and then the bad thing. And now you leave room for people to have choices and choose the trajectory of their life instead of just boxing everyone up in the same container.
Well, I think it also comes with exposure. So if we are in society, or the kind of education that you are put through does not let you think outside the box, and this is not the only thing happening. There might be other things that are happening, right? To be thinking of different opinion, then what she wrote in her sense is
it's
right.
The gospel truth.
Yes. Yeah. And it was shared by a lot of people.
Yeah.
People were actually in agreement, which is true. There's no problem with her message. But there's a different perspective to that message. That there are so many ladies out here that are more educated than these two leaders that she's mentioning. But we cannot compare the young generation to them because they grew up when there was war, so they were not given the right opportunity. But still, they have tried their best. We're not comparing the two, but we're just saying there are so many ladies out here that are doing the right things. Like here we have a degree holder. Yes, who is sitting here? Yes. She has a degree, and she's putting.
She's a career woman too.
Yeah, she's putting her work experience under her belt.
Yeah.
And as a jazzer too, a lot of work experience here and there. So the thing of saying, oh, there's going to, no.
And there's no day actually you'll see me on the social media insulting someone or doing some of those things, but it doesn't mean that I cannot insult people or anything like that. It's just that the way you were raised and how you look at issues is different from how other people see them. Yeah, so like I was saying, you let everyone live the way they want to, and you do. Yeah, so just live and let other people live their life.
Yeah, so the problem is, I think this topic of conflict resolution is something that we should all discuss, because most of these people abusing each other, they're not strangers to each other.
Yeah,
These are friends, grown white enemies. So that's what always happen.
Yeah.
And because we don't have avenues to solve some of the issues that are out there, people will go to social media and and just blast other people. Yeah. And then also what also happen is sometimes when we comment on other people's things, we don't actually think through.
Yeah.
The other person at the end of that post, the way that they're going to interpret it is going to be different from what you actually intended.
Yeah.
And for some ego, you guys might end up being enemies and people talk of the bad thing. So this idea of people insulting each other on social media is very rampant among the illiterate. Is the fact. Is there. Okay. I've never seen any PhD holder on TikTok abusing another PhD holder or a degree holder with another degree holder or a master's with another master's.
What is Kijanali?
Is he abusing people?
No, he's
telling his facts. No, he's just telling his fact. It doesn't have a specific enemies that he's always fighting with, that they have to go and talk about kwar.
No, na ile ya juzi ya kusema sijui ala Achuei Deng Ajiing sijui nini.
When people misinterpret your message, that's what I was saying the other day. That unajua, in our society we tend to think that we know each other because of social media. That because my joke was a lost boy, and you're also a lost boy. You think to know him, and you go in. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna go into it, but we just completed what we're going to discuss. And so our next story is Achuei Deng Ajiing. She posted on her social media account, Facebook specifically, asking who is married to who, and she was saying what people saw in the first few days,
the proposal,
yes, was a video shoot for her music. Is it true? Do you think it was a video shoot for her music? Amani
Kiki.
Yeah, what do you think?
I think it's possible that it was cloud chasing, because amongst these celebrities, especially the artists, they will do anything to trend, and once you are trending, that's when you drop your music or drop a video and audio and stuff. So maybe that's what she wanted to do. And also, if you look at our previous video about the proposal, they proposed to each other, I think, like today, and then that weekend they started the marriage negotiations and arrangements, and I was like, this was too fast. So probably ilikuwa cloud chasing. They just wanted to maintain the buzz and then come out like she did.
Well,
it was not marriage. We were just video shooting.
Well, in my opinion, no. It's just a wedding gone wrong, or it's a marriage gone south.
How does it go south that quickly?
It's because, look at it this way. If she was doing a video shoot for her music, she would have choose one or another musician. She would not choose somebody that's that old. That guy is an old person. It's not like in the music industry, like to do like that. A lot of other men in the music industry that can actually play that role.
Yeah, better than
of a best man than this guy.
Of a groom.
Yeah, for the groom. And then also, if you look at the marriage negotiation, if it was for a video shoot, they will not actually go and look for actual representative from each community.
Okay.
They can just select one community and then they divide them just because it's video shoot. You see, Or he can even select random people to come and on the side of the man and on the side of on her side, just to do the process itself.
Okay.
So, and if it was a video, shooting for the song, when is the song coming out?
That's another question we need to ask ourselves.
Yeah. So the thing is, it might be she's just trying to make her, to entice people to her upcoming wedding to be more enticing, or to give it a little bit of more hype again.
Okay. Or things are falling apart.
Or things are just falling apart that this thing is no longer, people have already talked, in our community, when people see your wedding.
Something good. They start adding your past.
Yes, and that's what was happening.
Yeah.
When the videos of her being proposed came in, people came with her old videos with the allegedly some old boyfriends or people that married her before on the social media and saying that ameacha huyu, such kind of stories. Unaona?
Yeah.
So the man, because when you are dating with the lady, sometimes you don't really care to know who was the boyfriend before.
How does that matter though?
Yeah, so sometimes we don't care, but now social media has brought it back. Mara umepigwa photo na huyu mwanaume, and then this photo he just give up. So it might be the reason, or it might be like she's just trying to tease people and your marriage is intact. Because
who are the player haters?
Yeah, because most of the time, what people put on social media sometimes does not reflect the realities on ground.
True.
Yeah. So it might be, her marriage might be coming, might be doing good, but just telling people like,
to back off.
They how do you call it kwa Kiswahili? Nasema wachanganye, confuse them. You confuse them. Waende wanene huko.
Progress.
Yeah, but in actual sense, her marriage might be going good.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, 452. If they were collected, then I'm actually worried for the bridegroom family. So collecting back 452 cows will be a headache, because some people have already sold their part if they were actually given
some
out.
Are slaughtered.
Yeah, if some were given in terms of monetary form, then people have already used them. They've already ate in the hotel. So it's going to be, the guy just going to cut his losses and go, maybe go look for another girl. And yeah, our people can talk. They can say, this girl is not good. It's not the right whatever. And then
she is too old. Mara, she is a former divorcee. She is what? She's an artist, musician.
Yeah, but if it is true they are even like, maybe they are separating, Achuei will not feel anything bad.
Why?
She has already passed through it.
Okay.
Something that you have already experienced in the past does not hurt you that much again when it happened.
But I feel like it can, because you will start questioning yourself, like, Kwani, how unlucky am I?
Well,
everything, like anything I touch.
You build yourself, because it's not like Achuei Deng Ajiing is a person that has nothing going on for her life.
True.
She has a music career.
Yes.
She has money. So this idea of having a man married to you, she can easily boycott it, right? And still continue with her career. Na kuwa anakula hapo kando kando na bado tu ako sawa, if she really need that. If kama anahitaji hiyo, unaona? And yeah, so and her music career can still go on. She can have children without like known
being
fathers.
Married.
And her life will still be better.
Okay.
You know, this idea of women feeling bad that is always your marriage that is falling apart is when like you have nothing that's going on for your life. You are only dependent on that marriage. Now it's failing again, and people are going to talk, and it will seem like you're a failure. But people that have money, nobody talk about the failing marriage.
Yeah.
They just say she's a strong lady. She knows how to handle her shit together. Yeah. So
kiumana, you just unaoga na kurudi sokoni.
Yes, kama kawaida.
Unarudi sokoni ukaoge mbele.
Yeah. All right, so that's it for Jimosi podcast. So subscribe to the YouTube channel. See you in the next video.
And thank you to the subscribers.
Yeah.
We got almost 10 subscribers recently. That was good.
Yes, a nice progress.